Dude.
It's happening.
Well, we've gone and done it, bro. We've gone and done it. All right. Hello. This is what are we calling this? Uneducated. Oh no, dude. Welcome to the Uneducation Station. This is going to be a new podcast we're starting. I am Anuki or Arthur, as you know me. My co-host is going to be Zach or Peanut. Oh, you're not doing Peanut anymore, right?
No,
you're not Peanut. You were just Zach.
Zach PNW.
Zach Pacific Northwest.
Yes.
Zach PNW. So make sure when you see him, you call him Zach PNW. You have to say the PNW part, otherwise it doesn't make. No, I'm just kidding. So this is a new podcast. I've been talking about it a lot in my streams. And I'm super excited. As you can see, we got the whole shebang going. We got backgrounds. I mean, it's temporary right now, of course, but we're just gonna get the ball rolling and just kind of see how it goes. This is gonna be a lot of fun. This is gonna be something that we're gonna do in the long term. If you're watching this on my channel, the first episode will be on my channel, and then the preceding episodes, well, it'll be in another channel, this one as well. But the preceding episodes will be on another channel, so make sure you hit go to the description and subscribe to that channel for future episodes. There might be maybe some like full-length shows on my channel, but I mean, it'll depend on how I feel. But I mean, there'll definitely be clips.
Yeah,
and it'll be a lot of fun.
I just imagine the sheer amount of shenanigans that we're gonna pull, like, and anything that we say out of context can be funny. And I know that we're just gonna end up cracking jokes and having a good time this entire time. So like, I'm just excited to see what people end up like pulling out of context in the future.
Yeah, I'm excited to see as well. I mean, I know for myself, there's been a lot of times where I get a lot of things pulled out of context because for whatever reason I say some weird things on stream. So there's, but it's all good. It's all fun. And the reason why we started this is because a lot of people enjoy whenever we talk and stuff. Like we've tried podcast stuff multiple times, right? Like the Minecraft series that we did, the Minecraft at Night, I believe. We did like 2 episodes of that. The second one I never ended up uploading because literally only is because I never got a thumbnail, and then it was like, oh shoot, it's been too late. I can't upload it anymore. So unfortunately, we had a long, really cool talk, but it's gone because I was too lazy to make a thumbnail. I apologize, and I also apologize for my channel being kind of slow. But I mean, as you can see, I've been working a lot in the background. So
yeah, there's been a lot of stuff behind the scenes that let me try that sentence over again.
Come on, man. Professional podcast. Bad streamer.
So there have been a lot of things that have been going on behind the scenes with both of us, whether it's in between streams, in between videos, all of that kind of stuff. And we've been planning this for a long time, actually.
Oh, honestly, it's something that's inevitable, right?
Yeah.
Because like I said, we talk a lot about, cool stuff, and sometimes when we're streaming we end up going into like massive tangents, right?
Yeah.
And the people like them. I see it. People like the tangents, people like the podcast we did. This time is going to be a visual podcast, and the last time we did this on my channel was for a school project I did.
Right.
I forget what the title was, but it was about what was it? Like free games and right for free games and stuff like that.
Yeah, or right. I think it was talking about streaming storytelling games and all of that kind of stuff.
Yes. Yeah. And then like the emotions and stuff you feel about it, and how it's how it's funny because we talked about it in a time where like it wasn't as relevant. Like it was something that we always everybody thought about, like if streamers playing games for free and stuff, and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It's funny how it's way more prevalent now, and now there's like a massive argument and stuff. But all right, that's gonna, if you want to watch that, you can go ahead and watch that. It was really entertaining, and it's not very long. Not for a podcast, it's like 30ish, 40ish minutes. It's not too bad. It's a good listen to just have behind whatever you're doing. But anyways, I just want to thank everybody for watching. This is gonna be a lot of fun. Hopefully we can do a lot of these. We're gonna aim for like maybe once or twice a week, at least once a week.
Yeah.
And then we'll just kind of see how it goes. Of course, school, editing, work, all that type of stuff. That's gonna play a big factor. But we will like to try and get this to be a normal thing, and I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and also, by the way, if you're watching this and then you go and watch the next episode and we're wearing the same clothes, I promise we shower.
Man, I might change my clothes. This is in my house. I can change my clothes.
Yeah, you can change your clothes. I kind of can't.
You got to bring extra clothes.
Yeah,
it's for continuity.
gotta kind of like rustle the hair a little bit. Oh yeah, I just realized this is the first time I'm on camera ever since I donated my hair.
Yeah, if you've seen the streams or anything from Zach, he had super. Well, I don't know if you've always worn like a beanie and stuff. Well, I mean, you tie it back as well, but I don't think you've ever been on stream with just your flowy Finn from Adventure Time hair.
I mean, I've had it down a couple of times. It's just kind of been one of those situations where it just became so unruly that it just was like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. I'm just gonna put it up.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I grew my hair out for 3 years, and I donated it 2 days ago.
That's awesome.
And so yeah, this is weird. And so
I think it's great. It's a fresh cut, and I know everybody around the house. My mom specifically doesn't like when I have long hair. This is considered long hair for me, so you can imagine how she was like, "Wow, look at this guy."
Wow, look at this hobo.
No, I'm just kidding. She loves you. It's all good.
It's joking. Hobo Jesus.
It's hobo Jesus. Arthur, why'd you bring this white hobo here? No, I'm just kidding. Oh yeah. So, I guess for the first episode, we were thinking about like if we want to have like an origin story, how we met each other, but I think we're gonna save that for the next episode because I just like to get the ball rolling. I like to just get into the meat and potatoes. I don't think anybody wants to. I mean, they might, but for the first episode being on my channel to kind of like hook people in, I think we should just go at it. And then, I mean, most people who are subscribed to my channel probably know of you already. I would hope so. I've made tons of videos. You've been cameraman for me. You've been in my streams. You're a well-known name in my channel personally. Yeah. So I think there isn't too much to be said, but at the same time, there's a lot of things, that we can talk about, like our past and how we, growing up and, all that type of junk, but we'll save that for next episode.
All the exposition stuff.
All the stuff that, I don't think we've even talked about, so it'll be fun to even talk about it in general.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things that we've just kind of had a mutual understanding about how, we've known each other for a super long time and all that kind of stuff. But there are a lot of things that I feel like we just kind of haven't really addressed with each other, which, I mean, isn't necessarily a bad thing. But at the same time...
No, I mean, you can't just say everything. There's a lot... I mean, we literally basically grew up together. So there's a lot of things we can say. And especially since now that we're 20, almost 21, right?
Right.
We have a different mindset looking back. But that's... We can talk about that next time. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, you go to the description and subscribe to the Uneducation Station. You can tell we just came up with the name for this, and you can also tell that we just set everything up today. But it's no worries, just kidding. Everything is gonna be fantastic. But yeah, go to the description and hit up the You could the Uneducation Station. It's gonna take a while. It's a good name though. It plays off the tongue well. But yeah, I just suck at English, dude. Sorry.
Yeah.
Typical Asian.
Typical Asian. Her. Anyways, so let's get to the meat and potatoes.
Oh, I do want to say, I know I just said we're gonna get into the meat and potatoes, but I do want to have disclaimers for this show. Since it's gonna be the first episode, let's go ahead and set some ground rules, okay?
Okay.
First and foremost, this is not a news channel. Okay?
Yes.
Where's this? Is not a news channel. This is not a news channel. I want to say this because the first time we did our Minecraft at night, I think it was the first one. I think we've only done one, so I assume it was the first one.
I would hope so.
We talked about like the Xbox Series S and stuff, like back then when it was still like kind of rumored and stuff, and we were just getting rumored numbers and stuff from Microsoft and from Sony and stuff. So we were just talking about it. We just thought it was cool, and we're talking about it. And for some reason, some very pleasant person in the comment section. I'm just joking, of course. I don't really care. But it was just funny because he was so heated in the comment section. You can still find the comment, but he got really mad at by the way, he was mad at like me giving fake news. First of all, we never said this was a news channel. We're just a bunch of homies playing Minecraft and just talking, and we just streamed it and I would just put it up. But he got so mad. Not only did he leave that comment, he came back the next day to reply to the comment, and he disliked the video. So I just found that really funny. But yeah, this is not a news channel. We might bring up like articles and we might reference them, but I mean, in general, articles on the internet can only be so true anyways. So it's more of just we're just gonna talk. Just opinion based and stuff like that.
And we'll try our best to be accurate with information that we're bringing up. Hence the reason why you have an iPad sitting in front of you. I have my phone to just kind of check and make sure that we're not saying anything that's blatantly wrong.
Oh yeah, right.
But at the same time, like you can't rely on us to be like 100% concrete. Like this is actually what happened, because like we don't even know what's going on in our own lives, let alone what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
So
the only news I get is from Twitter. That's it. I mean, it's pretty good news though, but it's also a massive cloud of fake news as well. Right. So we can only be so true to what we know, but we will, if we'll fact check each other, and if we say something wrong, then and we find out it's wrong, we'll maybe say it in another episode. Hey, I said this on one episode, my bad, didn't mean to offend an entire group, but but if we talk about things like that, I do want to say this is going to be a pretty. I'd like to see an adult stream, and I know. I mean, personally, I don't look myself or look at myself.
You called this a stream.
Did I say stream?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it is a stream.
Yeah,
it's a stream. This is going to be kind of a more adult podcast, but in the sense that, or not an adult, more of a mature podcast.
Yeah.
I think we're going to talk about topics that might be a little touchy sometimes. Topics that, I mean, obviously we won't cross like the ultimate line, of course, but we'll talk about. I mean, if you've ever been to my streams, you already know how that goes. There's a line, and it's like kind of dotted. Yeah. So we'll talk about some kind of interesting things.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm really excited just based on the normal conversations that we have on a day-to-day basis because, like, you and I can talk about some really dark shit.
Yeah.
And at the same time, though, we can still kind of try to keep it lighthearted, and I hope that we are able to do that with this format, where we can dive into some real life, like, actual things and still keep it like relatively lighthearted and positive at the end of the day.
Yeah, because I like to think for the most part we're some pretty optimistic people. We like to see the glass half full at most points, especially when considering others and how other people feel and how other groups feel and et cetera, right? And for the most part, if we're going to speak on topics of those type of natures, we'll be pretty unbiased. I think we'll be we won't have I mean, we might have a stand, but what's important about opinions is that it's your opinion. I've said it millions of times, but your opinion is not good if you're not considering other opinions, right? I mean, we've all written papers before, counter arguments, right? Seeing the other side, seeing the devil's advocate, and even if it's terrible and there's an obvious like winner of opinion, there's still another opinion to be had, and there's still a group of people that have that opinion. So it's good to, even if it's like literally like, I'm not gonna say anything, but you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Like it's almost objective that this opinion is better than this opinion, but there's still a group of people that are this in the other opinion, the minority, or just in general the other opinion, and you have to respect them because they have that type of that type of opinion.
Right.
But yeah.
Sorry, I just need to adjust.
Yeah, go ahead. But your opinion is shaped of other opinions and facts, of course, but other opinions. That's how you make your opinion stronger.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and that's the hardest thing, especially when you're talking about the internet and when you're talking about trying to go about any situation that is going on in the world, whether or like movies or TV or literally anything. It's like you kind of have to be very objective and kind of walk the fine line between trying not to cause a riot, but at the same time that still really sucks.
Yeah, it does suck, but you can't win, right? Because no matter how of a you okay?
Oh no!
Oh my lord! Yeah, I told you, bro. I have to change that in post now. See, that's why I said don't touch it too much.
Okay, I'm sorry. I
realized we need shock mounts, but okay, that's besides. We'll talk about that after. All right.
Okay,
nobody knows what we're talking about.
I'm sorry
because you didn't hear it. Editing.
Editing.
But yeah, I mean, no matter like how objectively good of a person you are, and I mean, when you think about it, when you boil it down to it, being good isn't even objective. It's technically subjective, technically, right?
Right.
But no matter how good of it, they say there's always a super villain, right? There's always you're always the antagonist of someone else's story, no matter how good or nice you're being, and that's just kind of the way it is, and it's unfortunate, but I mean, I could like help a granny cross the road, and then the driver waiting could be honking his horn and being pissed, even though I'm doing a nice thing, right? So there's really, you can't please everybody, but this is going to be our big disclaimer of that. We'll be unbiased. We'll have I mean, if we ever do have a stand that we're super passionate about, we'll claim it and we'll say it and we'll state it like, This is my opinion, but it will be our opinion, and you can have your opinion, and that's what makes discussing things awesome, because if people have different opinions, then there's a discussion to be had. We can talk about it, and I mean, if we just have the same opinions of things, what do we have to talk about? We'll just agree, and then that'll be the end of the story, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you have things that you agree on that I don't agree on, and et cetera, right?
Yeah, and that's what is really nice about having conversations with very open-minded people who are willing to just kind of take in the information that may be opposite the way that they feel about certain things.
Yes.
And that just turns into a not necessarily a learning experience, but just kind of looking at the world from a different perspective, because like, you know, even you and I, who we grew up together, we grew up two entirely different ways.
Yeah.
And so, you know, the way that you look at the world in your day-to-day life could be very different from the way that I do.
Yeah.
And so that is just inherently a very, very interesting thing, especially when you're talking to people who you've known for a really long time. You're able to just kind of like be a little bit more kind of upfront with the way that you feel about certain things.
Yeah.
Just because like I've known you for 12 years at least, if not longer than that. And so, you know, I know that there are things that I can say that aren't going to hurt your feelings or make you upset, but like, you know, that just kind of, that's its own kind of separate thing.
Exactly. There's a trust, right? There's a mutual trust between us, and I mean, we've gotten on each other's backs, and we've also helped each other's support each other's backs. That's what I was going for. Yeah. You know, so there's a lot of back play. Yeah, that's what I went with. Yeah. But you know, we've been with each other through the thick and thin. You know, so yeah. I'd like to think that we have that type of trust with each other. So that's why this podcast is perfect, because because we can direct that trust into a microphone and let the other people listen to what it would sound like if two bros just talked about things without, well, a little bit of filter, but the very thin filter between each other. That is between each other. So I guess that'll actually bring me into what we're going to talk about. Oh, garage. I don't think it'll come up in the microphone. Yeah, by the way, recording in my house. Hopefully that doesn't come up, but it is what it is. What we're going to talk about in the stream is going to be literally everything. Anything and everything. You
said stream again.
Did I say stream? Oh, I'm so used to sorry, streamer. Bad streamer. Bad podcaster. In the show, we're going to talk about literally anything and everything that we can think about. It will there'll be anime, there will be tech,
video games,
life, anything, literally.
Yeah.
You know, of course we won't cross any sort of line, of course, like we said, but I mean, if you've ever been in the streams, you know it's very random, so this is basically just going to be the podcast version of it. Yeah. So it's going to be just a lot of fun. Hopefully it doesn't get too random, but I mean, it's going to get random anyways, so hopefully we'll try and not deviate too far from a path of just what the hell am I listening to right now. I'm just going to go watch porn right now. At least that has a direct path. And I know what I'm getting into from watching this. All right. So yeah, but so yeah, anything. We'll talk about anything. I don't care. I mean, y'all know from my streams that I don't give a fuck. We'll talk about anything. Yeah. I don't care about no DMs. Well, I mean, for the most part, I won't care about any sort of terms of service and stuff. I mean, I don't think even though I say all the things that I say, I don't think I say anything bad, because I'm within the very beautiful Call of Duty community that you know, shouts racial slurs and diagnoses diseases against people, you know. So I like to think that, considering I don't do that, I'm on the better spectrum. I mean, no shots fired, but shots fired. You guys need to chill.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, you know, I grew up in MW2 lobbies, and you know,
as we all have.
I've seen very, very malicious people saying very malicious things, and so, like, you know, that I think that is a really prominent reason as to why we can just sit here and shoot the shit with each other and just say a bunch of raunchy stuff.
Oh yeah,
is because, like, you know, we grew up basically playing Call of Duty, getting yelled at, getting told that some random dude is fucking our mom.
I know, right?
and
sorry, mom.
Yeah, sorry, mom.
Sorry, mom. She's over there.
Oh gosh. Yeah, you know, it's really funny, because whenever I'm over here, or like whenever I'm like playing games with you or streaming with you, I just wonder what is going through your parents' head when they just hear you screaming the most outlandish shit.
Well, I mean, they already consider me a failure as a child, since I'm not a doctor or an engineer, so there's not much I can do about that. I mean, I'm sitting here freeloading in their house, not going to school, and I have just thousands of dollars of equipment to have a YouTube channel of not even 2,000 subscribers. So, you know, I'm sitting here, you know, being the dishonorable child of my Asian family. So, you know, what am I going to do? But here I am. I'm having fun. That's the most important part. I'm having fun. What are you laughing at, Zach? Is there something funny about what I said?
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
we might get a little racist, but not racist as in like the bad. Well, racist is bad. See, this is where the weird line gets. We're gonna joke around a little. This is the type of humor we'll have. So
we'll make fun of everybody equally. I promise.
Yeah, we do. I mean, that's what I do, right? I mean, if I were to, oh man, if this like this is the can of worms I'm gonna open, right? If I were to crack jokes about like gay people, for example, I'll crack the same amount of jokes about straight people,
right.
and in the whole spectrum, right? I think comedy, as long as it's not meant in a malicious way, because and there are times where you think you're not being malicious, but you are being malicious. But as long as you know that you're not being malicious, and the other party knows you're not being malicious as well, we can crack these types of jokes. I mean, we've had gay friends saying, and then we've say. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't say like the F word, for example, and stuff. Just like to them, because that's just literally ignorant, right? But I might just crack like a sucking dick joke or something, and then we'd have a laugh,
I mean, it's the same thing about like. It's like making like eating ass jokes to like straight guys or like whatever, or like literally anything, and it's just all meant in good fun, and it's supposed to be very lighthearted, and so when it just gets really hard, especially when you're talking to people who you're not super comfortable with, and you don't really have a read on how they feel about certain things.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. Even for people that you might like think very well. Like I know I have like good friends, like my coworker. Shout out to you, Steph. we good. But like she's like or pescatarian.
Okay.
Right? And then I always like whenever we're like going out for like company outings or whatever, like we go to the restaurants and I'm sitting there chewing on some steak, right? And I'm like, oh geez, I don't know, but I know she doesn't get offended by it, but I know that like, maybe I shouldn't be. And we have like Snapchat streaks just because fuck, I don't know, that's what the cool kids do, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And then like every now and then I'll like snap like my food or whatever, and then I'm almost sending it to her. I'm like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't, but I know she doesn't care. I mean, she's in a Vietnamese family, and if you know anything about Vietnamese or even Asian people in general, we eat meat, like a lot of meat.
Yeah.
There's nothing. You know what? We're not going to talk about it. We'll talk about it another time. I have a certain feeling about vegetarians and vegans, but listen, it's not malicious. It's just I have an opinion on it.
Yeah.
But in an Asian household, you might see the vegans here and there, especially nowadays. But if they were raised in Southeast Asia, bro, if you didn't waste any meat on the bone, that was precious. That was a family treasure. So you wouldn't waste that. So that's why that's why my family, that's why I think, if you're being a vegan, I mean, if you have the ability to, then go ahead. That means you're living a good life, and fuck it, why not, right?
Yeah.
But the way we were raised, it's like you don't waste that. That's food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, that makes it sound like we're like jungle monkeys or some shit. I mean, we are, but whatever.
Yeah, and that's all about the culture, like the culture that you grew up in, the culture that you've been surrounded by for most of your upbringing and all that kind of stuff, and especially with your parents, like obviously they lived an entirely different life than you're living now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And so
they were on the struggle bus.
Oh yeah.
Like imagine the struggle bus here in the United States, and then like times 50.
Yeah.
That's how it was.
Like a triple.
That's how it was over there.
It's like a triple decker struggle bus.
I'll talk about that another time. That's actually like almost like full podcast wise, like the whole story. I don't think I've ever told you the full story. I've told you a glimpse of it, right?
I think
how it was back, like how they made it here.
Yeah.
To the United States. I've told you a little bit about it, but I've never done the full story. So that could be a fun one for another time.
Yeah, that would definitely be interesting.
Yeah, story time.
Story time. Yeah, and it's just really interesting to see the opportunities that we have now that just were never an option, even like 40 years ago. It's just like it's a very interesting concept, I guess. Yeah, it's just weird. It's weird to think that we are able to take the liberties that we have now, and just kind of knowing in the back of your mind that just was not even a concept in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Like look at exactly what we're doing right now.
Yeah. Like this is the type of stuff that you'd have to like get in like radio shows and studios and stuff to do. Yeah. And now I had a camera, you had a camera, I had space, you had lenses and lights, and we just like kind of, we had our things that we had, and we just collabed, and we're just doing a home podcast of, it's a little amateurish, but
yeah,
this is cool, like you wouldn't be able to do this like freaking a while back. I mean, we sound like back in my day. You know what I mean?
Oh.
I mean, there's gonna be a lot of that now that I think about it. Now that we're 20, you know, almost 21, we're gonna start. We're old people now, Zach. We're technically old people.
Should I just start signing up for the retirement homes now?
I guess so. Yeah, I should just take a look at my Social Security and see how that's going for me.
Yeah, yeah, but it's just really cool to see how much the world has changed in a positive way, but also it's unfortunate to see how much it's changed in a negative way.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just such a multifaceted thing that's just an entire conversation that could go on for an hour.
That's another episode, Zach.
Yeah.
This is the first episode. We're giving you this episode is just a taste of what we're going to talk about. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a glimpse into my ADHD brain and how you try to reel it in every time.
Yes, exactly. Precisely. This is going to be a lot of things. So make sure definitely go in the description and subscribe. It's going to be nuts. What we're going to do. So, hopefully we can obtain an audience, or even if we don't, hopefully we can grow one, and that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I mean, even audience or not, you know, I think that the cool thing is that we're gonna be able to look back and just see all of the cool things that we've talked about, and us just kind of causing shenanigans in our own way.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like we put up some stuff, you know, for the backdrops and stuff for our scenes, but it'll be cool to see how it evolves over time, right? The different decorations we do, what we put up, what you put up, what I put up, you know, all the things. I mean, you're evolving the set now, man. You know what I mean? There was a ton of just room for just changing, and it will be really cool to look back in the first episode after gosh, dare me say 100 episodes or so.
Oh man,
and we just see how far we've came. Maybe we have like upgraded mics and, you know, stuff like that, you know. I mean, or maybe even we keep it. I don't know. Maybe we stay humble, but who knows? You know, that's what's cool about it. We don't know what's gonna turn up. So I know there was a lot of preparation for this, you know, to get the practicality of it, and we never really thought about decoration. But I think it'd just be cool to see how it turns out.
Yeah, and obviously it's something that is going to have like an ebb and flow, and everything is going to be subject to change. Yeah. But it's just going to be really awesome to see the kind of humble beginnings in a way, like where it all began.
Yeah.
And this sounds really meta because this is the first episode and we're talking about looking back at the first episode, and it's just like
timelines.
I'm breaking the fourth wall. But anyways, yeah, this is really cool, and this was a brainchild that we've had for a very, very long time. Yeah. And like, dude, we've probably been talking about this since we got out of high school, right?
Basically, yeah. I know, like, this might be in for another. This might even be for the next episode. Who knows? When we talk about our past and how we know each other and stuff. But
yeah,
we basically grew up together, but we didn't really hang out too much in high school. I mean, that's more because like the way middle school and high school works is that just for whatever reason, the close friends you thought you had, we just all split off for whatever reason. I don't know. Yeah. I noticed it like my sophomore year. I was like, wait, what just happened?
Yeah.
Wait, I'm not even hanging out with the people I know anymore. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's weird, but I mean, it's cool. It's cool at the same time. And I mean, the fact that we're still friends right now, and dare I say best friends, you know,
right?
We're, you know, it goes to show of how relationships work and how it's hard to break them, even if we didn't hang out in high school, even if we didn't see each other for 4 or so years, right?
Yeah.
So it's cool, but we'll save that, you know.
Yeah.
Make sure you subscribe. Go to the description, yes. So yeah, make sure you go in the description to see, like, you know, the next episodes and all that type of stuff. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a very deeply invested project, and I sincerely hope you guys enjoy it. But that's enough of the boring, sappy stuff nobody wants to hear.
Yes.
Let's get into the meat. I mean, I feel like we already did. We're eating our dinner. We're eating our dinner plate in like a very odd order.
Yeah, it's like we're taking a bite of mashed potatoes and then just like
eating some coleslaw.
Yeah, it's just like there's.
By the way, what the fuck is coleslaw? I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I don't know what because it's like a salad, right? But it's not.
Hang on.
It's like a salad, but it's like shredded like cabbage, and it's weird, right? But I hate it. I hate coleslaw.
Oh, I hate coleslaw.
But
too.
I don't know why, because like I wouldn't say I'm the pickiest eater. Like I'll eat my vegetables if I need to. If I have to, if it's on my plate, I'll eat it for the most part, at least, unless it's mushrooms. Sorry, I don't like mushrooms. That's my opinion.
I don't like either.
Okay.
I don't like either mushrooms. I don't like mushrooms either.
I don't like either mushrooms. They're weird. There's such an odd. Not only is the texture weird, but it just doesn't taste good for me. Yeah. Opinion.
Opinion.
This is an onion.
This is an onion.
This is an onion. Okay, there you go.
I realized when I pointed, it covered your face. Okay, so I figured out. Okay,
what is a coleslaw? We're gonna get a live reading from Zach.
Coleslaw is sliced raw cabbage mixed with mayonnaise and other vegetables, eaten as a salad.
Okay,
so
it's like a subcategory of salad.
Yeah,
right. So why don't they just call it a salad? Well, I mean, I guess I don't know. It's a subcategory. So I get it. I understand.
Why don't they just call it cabbage salad?
I guess it's the mayonnaise that separates it. Does salad normally have mayonnaise? I don't honestly eat salad a lot. I mean, I guess there could be a mayonnaise dressing, right?
That's a good question. Okay, wait. I just thought of something else. What is the difference between a salad dressing and a condiment?
Well, I guess it would just be the categorization. Because a condiment, it would, let's say, would be mayonnaise, but mayonnaise is can be used for coleslaw for like a salad dressing. So I think a salad dressing is more of just within the same family. They have the same ancestor, Zach.
Yeah,
they have a common ancestor. You can go on ancestry.com and you can see, oh, mayonnaise derived from ketchup. They didn't. I mean, they might have. I don't fucking know. I don't eat a lot of. I don't just slurp mayonnaise by the bottle, so I can't really speak on that. I'm sorry for all my mayonnaise homies, but
I'm sorry for my mayonnaise ignorance.
Someone's in the comment. How dare you? How dare you? My family, we grew up drinking mayonnaise from the bottle. That is our main calorie intake, Arthur, Anuki. That's how dare you even speak on that? And not only that, but my dad was killed by a bottle of ketchup. So the fact that you even mentioned ketchup. You see, this is what would happen.
Yeah.
All right.
No, it would literally be like, how dare you have the privilege to eat mayonnaise and you don't?
How dare you? I have to eat ranch. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
You see, this is where like it's hard to draw that line of like offending. We're joking, of course.
Yeah.
I don't think there's people that are just like that strongly on mayonnaise. I could be wrong. You know, who knows?
Dude,
like,
there are. I promise
there
you.
There is
a
mayonnaise religion, Zach. It's down the street. I saw them. They're our neighbors. They're down the street. The mayonnaise cult. They just eat mayonnaise. I don't know what else to say. They don't do anything else. They just eat mayonnaise. Mayonnaise cult.
You're saying that word too much. It's losing its meaning. Mayonnaise.
Moist. There we go. We just lost 50 viewers.
Yeah, there we go. All right. Well, that was fast. So now that the real homies are here,
dude, should we just talk about anime now?
Yeah, fuck it. Let's
talk about anime because I've recently gotten Zach into anime. This is something like it's interesting because this is something that you guys know that I've been I've been very passionate about. I mean, a couple years ago, I got into anime. In comparison to everybody else, I definitely got in later, but it was always something I always knew about, of course. I mean, even we watched the Narutos and the Dragon Ball Zs and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I went a little further, and like my dad even introduced me to a couple of animes. Shout out to Dad.
Thanks,
he's a
Dad.
Closet weep. I'm just kidding. I bet you enjoy it, but we watched this show. Oh man, it was on Netflix so long ago. It's called Aquarion, and it's a very old. It's not that old, but it like you can tell it's old, right? And it's like, it's a oh gosh, I guess it's a mecha anime, which is basically just like Transformers, right?
Oh, okay.
But gruesome, I guess, if you will. Like imagine like Transformers, but Nick at Night.
Gotcha.
But like super Nick at Night. Bad streamer, Zach.
Oh, bad
We're
streamer. Not even streaming, Arthur.
Bad streamer, back podcaster, Zach.
Bad podcaster.
But yeah, but if anything, my dad got me into it, which is kind of funny because he doesn't watch it anymore, and I know he probably feels some type of way of me having anime posters and figures everywhere, and me having anime background on my phone and watching virtual YouTubers and stuff.
Yeah, or you having a I Heart Humanity shirt.
Hey man.
Hey
dude, it's a cool shirt. You peep the shirt, y'all. I Heart Humanity, the one that I was gonna say Shudo, but that's the what was it? Oh man, bad No Game No Life fan. The guy.
Fuck, what's his name?
We watched it literally the other week. What is this? What's happening here?
Oh, dang it.
Oni-chan.
Oh man.
Look at bad fan. Anyways, but yeah. Well, you go ahead and look that. You can fact check me. But I recently got Zach into it, and it's something that he hasn't really. I mean, like I said, we watched the Naruto's and Dragon Ball Z's growing up, but it's not something that he's ever gotten into. But I don't know what it was, but I somehow convinced you to watch it. But we watched Erased. If you guys know about how about me and at all on Twitter, you know that I have the flow chart. The flow chart to get people who don't watch anime into people who will consider anime. And the first show in the flowchart, it's not really a flowchart if you think about it. Shiro?
Yeah.
It's Shiro?
Yeah.
What? No, it's not.
Or
no, that's the girl. That's
Sora.
Sora.
Yeah.
Sora. There we go. This is a shirt that Sora has. Anyways, like I was saying, but yeah, No Game No Life was one of them. But on the flowchart, that's not really a flowchart. It's more just a list. But I call it a flowchart because flowchart sounds cooler.
It sounds like you've established it and crafted it.
Yeah,
over
I have.
many
Yeah, I have it
years.
on an Excel sheet.
Yeah.
Yes,
but it
I don't. It's Google Sheets. Yeah. So the first one is Erased, which is a banger, by the way.
It's a banger.
Banger. I got you on that. That was the first one we watched, and then we watched. Yeah, Your Lie in April.
Bro, okay,
I apologize.
Okay, wait. Okay, before you even continue, I need to tell you. Okay, so my buddy Andy, he is trying to convince me to rewatch Your Lie in April.
Why?
With him
okay.
and like a bunch of other people.
Hell no. I didn't rewatch it for 3 years, Zach.
Bro, I don't know if I want to, but like you were saying, like you got over it after you rewatched it.
Yeah, no, that's true. We definitely after the rewatch, because it was kind of like a closure thing. Because like, I mean, honestly, like after the 3 years, I was not over it. I was like, jeez, fuck, dude. And every single time I thought about it. I mean, the ending is still, it was a good ending. It's a bittersweet. I guess. Oh, this is a good time to mention it, especially since it's the first episode. We're gonna stray away from like spoiler talk, right?
Yeah.
Of course, because. But at the same time, if we do are gonna talk, we will eventually talk about spoilers and stuff because that'll just end up being the discussion. So we'll audibly say like spoiler warnings and stuff. Maybe skip ahead a little bit whenever it happens, but we'll let you know, of course. But the shows that I'm showing you are honestly like shows that people have probably seen already. So it's not like the super duper obscure shows that will be like only like 5 people have watched it. I'm like, all right, Zach, you're watching this, and you'd be like, okay,
yeah.
What the fuck?
And
the
also
title is like 5 paragraphs long.
Yeah, and also just kind of backpedaling a little bit. When we do talk about kind of spoiler territory, I hope that we can just get like a timestamp to where you can go to like skip the spoiler
Yeah, I'll
bits.
figure it out. I mean, it will be a little difficult in audio format. That's another thing we'll talk about a little bit, like getting it into audio format. For now, it's going to be YouTube. I might upload it to SoundCloud, but that'll be a later venture. But I mean, we don't even have like channel at the time of recording. We don't even have like channel art or anything happening.
We don't even have
we don't even have a channel yet. So, Uneducation Station might even be claimed. Maybe I can't. No, it's not. I don't think. But I don't think I have the power to claim it technically. So for all intents and purposes, some rich motherfucker can be like, man, fuck these guys. I'm gonna just buy this domain, and then now we can't use Uneducation Station, and now all of our podcasts are just ripped.
Yep.
But it's okay because I don't think anybody can do that. I have faith in humanity. Right?
I love humanity.
I love humanity. But
Dude.
yeah, we'll mention the spoilers, but at the same time, I think people can still follow along because it will be shows that most people have seen. Like it's not the mainstreams like the Naruto and Dragon Ball Z's, but it's not the super far outs like the Sangatsu no Lines and stuff. You won't even know that, but man, it's the shogi show that I was talking about. That's my favorite one. That it'll be difficult to watch, but I mean you enjoy the storytelling aspect and you enjoy the poetic aspect, and that's a lot of you're already doing a lot better than a lot of people who watch anime who are only who are like, oh, is there no fight scene in episode 1? Oh, I don't really want to watch it, to be honest.
Oh man, I don't know, man.
I don't know, man. There's no happy ending.
There's no beach scene in the pilot.
Yeah, it's like you get it, right? You get the storytelling aspect of it, and that's really cool. That's really awesome, and I don't know what I was expecting else because I know that you would already enjoy it. I mean, I already told you many times. I know you would fuck with anime if you watched it.
Yeah.
And especially the deeper meanings of it.
Yeah, and I guess, oh man, I'm just like a huge storytelling buff, whether it's movies, TV, books, whatever it may be, even music, the storytelling in music, like that's a whole podcast in and of itself.
Yeah.
But the way that people are able to kind of craft and create a story is just super amazing, and especially when they get you kind of emotionally emotionally invested in a story and like into a world that they created, like No Game No Life. Like, dude, the world building that they did in that show is just so good, and the movie's a banger.
Oh yes, the movie was so good. I told you, the movie, like I put the movie up with the show, like or sometimes even more. They trade blows, man. It's so good.
Yeah,
God, that's a timeless movie. I could watch it so many times.
It's just dude, and like they answered one of the questions that I had like always had. Like, I'm not gonna talk about it.
I think you can. No, you can. You go ahead. It's not really a spoiler.
Okay, like, how did this all begin?
Yeah, right.
Like, how did all of the wars end? How did they get to the point to where they are able to just have their own separate communities and not have any conflict?
Right. Well, at least not through violence.
Right. No conflict
Not
through violence.
Not through wars.
Yeah.
But through games, right?
Yeah.
Hence the aspect of the show. So it is really cool because, I mean, you watch like 12 or so episodes of like the show of just like this fun comedy, sometimes sad, you know, all this type of thing, and it was fun to watch. But then you watch the movie and it's very gruesome, right? It's very realistic, and you know, it's like almost a 180 of, it's like, how did this fun atmosphere, how did it, you know, it had to come from somewhere, and that came from all this war and stuff that kept getting hinted in the show, right? And you're always kind of curious, like, wow, why is it, what's so, you know, the war and stuff, right? You're just curious about it, right? And you watch the movie, and it's brutal, right? It's nuts, and it's like, you know, there's violence, you know, and it's a harsh reality, but it's really cool. It's a cool upbringing, and it's a very, very powerful story, and it makes you kind of feel a little melancholy of how, like, I don't even know if I'm using that word right, but that was my word of the day. I had to use it. Makes you feel a certain type of way about, like, the world that they have now in the No Game No Life, the series, right? How it became, and that's just cool, right? The world building that you say, and I mean the world building that they have already, just that they developed just in the show itself, right? Establishing the rules, like in the first by like episode 3, you knew what the world what the world was, what the rules were, what are the goals,
right?
And who are the characters. You had all the stuff, by episode 2 or 3, maybe honestly probably even 1, you knew, like, everything was just drilled in. And to be fair, that is also an aspect of it only being 12 episodes. You know, you got to kind of condense it as quick as possible so you can just get into the story.
Right.
But I only say that because there are shows where it takes an investment to get into. And I understand why when people watch like those type of shows, they get bored of it, you know, but now I get to know that you probably might not get bored of it because you actually enjoy that aspect. You enjoy the investment.
Yeah. And that just adds another layer of complexity to the story, because you get to know these characters so well, and you're able to empathize with them and understand them. And then, you know, if they do end up dying in the show, then that is just such a hard hit, and that just ends up adding such an extra layer of emotion, because, you know, you were emotionally invested in this person, and now they're dead. And it's just like, oh my gosh, I don't.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, people make jokes, right? It's a drawing, calm down, you know. Like this SpongeBob, it's a drawing, son, calm down. But it's really not, because there's the character, the development, the writing, the acting, the music, all these sorts of aspects that tie the story into something that makes you want to escape into this type of world. And you do escape into this type of world, and you get to meet these characters, and you get to see how they act, and you basically just follow them on this journey, and it's almost like you're with them, right? And when that thing, whether they die or whether they experience something terrible, you feel terrible as well, because there's that massive sympathy of just like, I know how this character is feeling right now. You know, I know that this character, this happened, and they are devastated. They're down bad. It's tough, you know, and the build it, you can have characters where you don't feel that way. So if you do have characters that you can feel that way, then that's good writing.
Right. Yeah, and another thing too is the mix between the storytelling, the animation, and the music.
Mm-hmm.
They are able to make such a beautiful like a love child. It's just like the most beautiful way to convey the emotion that either one of the characters feels, or how you would feel like watching that happen. And you know, that just ends up turning into something absolutely amazing. And it's just so good. Like whenever we talk about music and anime, the only thing I could think of is Your Lie in April, because
it is music. It is an anime about music, but it's oh man, I'm honest. Okay, I apologize for that being your second anime. First of all, I just thought, hey, you know, we both like music. We're both into music theory and stuff. This will be fun. We're both performers.
No,
maybe not, maybe a bad idea, but honestly, I think it was still a good maybe not for a second watch, but I think it was really good that you watched it, because it's something that hit really close to us, and it's something that not only that you felt attached to, not only felt attached to, but we both feel attached to it in this kind of triangle motion, because we were both there. We were both in. I mean, you did band longer than me, but we were both in like middle
Right.
school jazz band and stuff. We both, even though after jazz band, I was still doing like little recitals and stuff with my music tutor and stuff like that. We're performers. We are.
Right.
We really are. And now, I mean, it's just a different outlet. Like you've done theater, we do streams and stuff. We're performers. We're entertainers, and that was one of the things that we did as a child. So, as children, it was seeing like. You know, like I know we were talking about like the stage, the auditorium, the theater,
dude,
the feeling.
Okay. So I know that we could literally have an entire podcast just about talking about your lie in April.
We probably should, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's a topic for another day. But one thing that I will say is coming from somebody who has been a competing performer for 8-9 years.
Yeah, Zach has done more than I have. I've only done like 2 years of middle school jazz band, which was great, of course. Which was great. But you've gone even farther into the dirt.
Yeah. I've done high school level jazz competing. I've done college level jazz competing. Tell
them what instrument you play, dude.
Oh, do I have to?
Do it, dude.
Okay, so my main instrument throughout middle school and high school and college was baritone saxophone.
Yes, baritone sax.
I played alto sax, clarinet, drums, guitar, piano, bass. I learned how to play the tuba one summer, literally for no reason. Yeah. So, summer going into my senior year, I learned how to play tuba just for like pep band and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And then let's see. I mean,
yeah, you perform for like the schools and stuff, or the sports and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's the thing. That's the thing that we did in high school. You know, back when we can go to high school.
Yeah. Weird,
huh?
Yeah, that is really weird.
It's super weird.
Anyways, yeah. So after competing in concert band festivals and all of that kind of stuff, watching Kosei go and sit in the auditorium to watch that. Oh
yeah. It struck a chord with me too. Like even like when I first watched it, I wasn't too embedded into it yet.
Yeah.
Like into the music and stuff, and I feel like I had matured. Like I mean, when I first watched it, I only had done like the middle school jazz band for 2 years and then a couple recitals here and there. So I mean, I had that experience, but it hadn't really like matured onto me yet. It was more of just like, oh, I just did this in middle school. But as you know, now I'm 20, right? Old man Anuki, right?
Old man Anuki.
You know, I let it mature into me, and now after rewatching it, I felt that. Like I really did. Like the auditorium, the backstage hallways, and the stage itself, and
the stage,
and the camera looking towards the blackness of the audience.
Oh, dude,
it was. I felt that with you. I didn't feel it. I felt it a little bit when I first watched it, but the rewatch, I was like, oh my Lord. Oh my. And then he was like because it's a very like monologue-y anime too, right? There's a lot of, a lot of like a self-dialogue from Kosei and the other, the other characters. And like he was talking about like the airy room, the dusty smell, the
stale air.
The stale air. And then that, to someone who doesn't know, that sounds super stupid. You know, and I understand that, but for us, we're like, oh my God, dude.
Literally
the faint feeling of the feeling of just dust and the eerie, not eerie, sorry, but this is kind of the the chatter of the people during the intermissions and stuff. And everything about and this was the first performance, the Kyrie's violin performance. Yeah. This is where the first time you enter like the hall and all that type of stuff, and we were like, damn, jeez, oh my, you know what I mean? We're like, we had to pause.
Yeah,
we had to pause.
Okay, it's so funny because the performance didn't even start, and we were just sitting there like, oh my God, like I was sweating, like I was literally dripping sweat.
Shit.
Yeah, no, because literally it just immediately brought me back to when I was a person who was about to go on stage, because you go through those back hallways, the backstage hallways, and it's just like it is so to a T accurate that it just gave me like secondhand anxiety.
Yes. It gives like the watching the other performers perform, like the other bands, for example, and the other watching it from the screen or from the audience or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And the anxiousness of I'm going next, and oh man, oh Zach, oh bro, it's nuts, and nobody knows that unless they've done it before, you know, and that's why believe it or not, some people actually don't really like Your Lie in April because like they think it's not as sad as like X anime, and maybe it isn't. But if you have that musical connection, it's not, or even like the performing connection, or even once you've developed that much character development, once you've invested into like literally honestly like 3 or 4 episodes into it at that point, you're like, I understand, I get it. I understand the anxiousness people are feeling. And I mean, it's not just them like playing piano or whatever, right? I mean, it is, but there's also like dialogue and how they're feeling and how the audience is feeling. So it's definitely interesting if you were to go into the, I mean, honestly, if I were to watch a piano recital and they had a microphone and they were just fucking talking while they were going, I'd be like, what am I fucking watching?
Yeah.
But in the show, it's different. You know,
Yeah.
it's this inner monologue of all the different people and the different emotions that are flying, and it adds this kind of color to the scene.
Exactly. And one thing that I really love is the connection through music.
Yes.
The connections that the characters have with each other through their love for music.
Yes.
And that I would say is the craziest thing, because that's kind of a connection that you and I have.
Yeah.
Is our love for music.
Yes, exactly.
And so it's just really cool because like I totally get it. I 110% get it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just super crazy to just kind of see something that you felt but you've never really acknowledged personified onto different characters. Like it's just such a crazy experience.
It is, yeah. It's cool. It's like seeing almost like a movie of what we did.
Yes. That's, oh my god, that
it's
is
like
so
it's like
accurate.
seeing a play-by-play or a playback or someone like recording of just what we did, because that's what we did.
Yeah,
That is
exactly.
what like I can't stress that enough. Like it wasn't like we were sympathizing. That's what we did. We got on that stage. We sat in the audience. We felt that atmosphere of the theater, the hall, big and small. We were there. That's what we did.
Right. And
so yeah,
that was like my life
mm-hmm.
for a very, very long time. At least 6 or 7 years of that. And so it's just like that was such a deeply ingrained thing into my mind. And that's a part of the reason why when I got out of high school and when I stopped playing for Clark, I just kind of stopped playing music, because I always just kind of felt like I was always rehearsing for something, or I was always practicing for something.
Yeah.
And then when that something wasn't there anymore, then it just kind of felt like, what am I doing this for?
Yeah.
And then you kind of have to relearn your love for music again, because it's not necessarily about the performances that you do or anything like that. It's just about your love for music.
Just enjoying the music.
Yeah,
because now you
enjoying
don't have anyone to please. You don't have anybody to impress. You don't have judges, or you don't have peers. It's just you now. And so
Right.
It's like now it's almost as if you're self-studying for the first time, almost.
That it is for the first time.
Basically, yeah.
Because if you were,
I mean, you can have like maybe like, so you can send like a clip to like your friends or whatever and be like, hey, what does this look like? But really now, like for me, I stopped playing music after my lessons finished, which is around like, oh gosh, freshman, sophomore year-ish.
okay.
I stopped doing lessons, so I stopped doing music. My piano was collecting dust, my guitar was collecting dust, and it wasn't because I disliked music, of course. It wasn't like I disliked my time. I enjoyed that time, but I just got busy, with school and stuff, and I wasn't in a band anymore. I didn't have that obligation, so now I had to focus on school. Yeah, right. But I I watched Your Lie in April in like freaking sophomore, junior year or whatever, and I was like, I remember this. This was something that hit me very closely. It resonates with me. This is what we did. This is how I feel. The music is beautiful. I can play this music. I know how to read music. I know music theory. Not a lot, but I know more than the average person.
Right.
I can do this. And it brought my love for music back. Anime. The Your Lie in April. Anime. Anime. So like when I say anime has shaped me, and it's not cringe. It really, I mean, it is. It's to an extent, it's a little cringe, but I really mean it when I say that. It really changed how I think. It changes how I act, and it's almost like, it's not like I'm acting like them, like the characters, but I can see how the characters act and what they do, and how like what that results into. Of course, it's exaggerated, right, for story and
Right.
whatnot, but you can see it because a lot of the shows that I watch, symbolisms of like school life and stuff like that, and,
Right.
and actual life stuff. And of course, like I said, they're exaggerated a little bit sometimes, but this, it is like these kind of the slice of life type of thing that you can learn from. So when I say I learned from it, I do mean I learned from it. It's not like I'm walking around like main protagonist type just shit. I mean, if I did, stop me, please, because I would find that cringe.
Yeah.
Unless it was ironic, then that'd be pretty funny. You can record it and we can all laugh, have a go. Yes, but
yes, so much pain and anguish.
yeah, I just want to finish my thought.
Okay, go for it.
But Your Lie in April, it brought my love for music back. It really did. I dusted my piano that was sitting in the closet for like 2 years. I mean, it wasn't like a great piano. It was a Yamaha NP, I think Piaggio 11. I think now there's a 12 edition, maybe 13, whatever, just refreshes. Electric keyboard, no weighted keys, 66 keys, I think, or 60, I think 60, 67, I think it is. So it's not very big, but I plopped it, I put it on a little table, and I just started playing again. I opened up some sheet music because I know how to read sheet music.
Right.
I'm thankful for my music tutor for teaching me even the baseline of music theory to be able to understand it. I popped it open and I just played some Your Lie in April OSTs. Some soundtracks and stuff, like the background music and stuff, and I just fell in love with music again and playing piano. And now you see on my Twitter, I haven't done it recently because I've been busy, but piano tweets and all sorts of things, and it's really cool. It really is. And I have anime to thank for that. And it's cringe, but it's true.
But also, when you look at it just from the story that's trying to be told, it is way more than just the stereotype that you would see for anime. And especially with Your Lie in April, because that is a story that resonates with so many different people, and it's a representation of musicians that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
And anime is such an interesting and unique form to be able to tell a story, because there are so many liberties to that.
Mm-hmm.
And also, that is the same way with any type of animation that you're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just really cool when you find that story that just is a story that you've told before, and just seeing it personified on somebody else is just so cool and such a beautiful. Basically, it's like it's like a present that you give to yourself.
Yeah.
Because it's just like you get to watch somebody else go through a story that you have already lived.
Yes.
And it's just super interesting, because obviously my story's a lot different than Kose's, but at the same time, I understand the way that he feels, like the performance anxiety and all of the different things you feel, and like just the feeling of being up on stage is just such a unique feeling that a lot of people don't really know about.
Yeah. I mean it's like, like public speaking, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right. It's kind of like that, except times like 50 billion, because there's like a bunch of people watching. But no, it really is, and you don't really know until you actually do so. I mean, if you've ever done like a speech for a school, or even just presented your paper to your peers, right? It's kind of like that, but of course, different physically, of course, but also symbolically. But being, you felt that, right? I mean, you read your paper, your presentation, you practice your presentation to a mirror or to your friends or whatever. You do all this, and okay, yeah, I got this. But the anxiety that you get of actually I'll keep with the essay theme of getting up in front of the classroom and talking to your classmates or your peers or your coworkers or whatever it is, it's tough, and it's like that anxiety that's so gut wrenching. And I think that's where people kind of get it. But they don't, and they kind of unintentionally relate that. But when you're actually a music performer,
right?
We were, I said it already, but we were there, right?
Yeah.
We were on that stage. So it's really crazy to see that kind of like just this playback of what we did. So, I mean, of course, his story was a little more fabricated and exaggerated, of course, but I mean, we felt that same anxiety, and we felt that same expectations and the shackles and the weight that we had on our shoulders to just impress the crowd, impress the judges, and et cetera, et cetera. we felt that, and
Yeah.
we felt the gruesome practice hours and
Oh my gosh, yeah.
and getting something wrong, but God, why is this the one note I keep missing? We were there.
Yeah.
And so that's why it resonates with us so much more than it might for another person. But I mean, even then, it was still a good show.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful show. And
it was. Yeah. And like, like I said, we could literally make an entire episode.
I think we will. We've talked a lot about it already, but we literally could still have a whole hour-long, 2-hour, 3-hour-long special of just your lie in April.
We literally have done that on our own time and not even scratched the surface.
I know, exactly. There's a lot. And I mean, it also has to do, and we can even do it without spoiling anything. And when we get into spoilers, oh man, that's where we reach super long territory hours.
Oh man.
But I mean, that'll be for another time, of course. So again, make sure you go to the description. Sorry, I gotta plug it as much as I can, man. You gotta go to the channel if you want to hear more.
Yeah. But like, just to kind of wrap up this whole kind of portion of the conversation. I remember when you and I were in the ASL show together, and
oh, dude. Oh, God.
And I think that was the last time that you and I performed on stage together.
I think so, yeah. I want to say let's save it for the next episode, because we'll talk about like our kind of like, the things, growing up, school and all that type of stuff. But yeah, the ASL show. For those who don't know, it was I don't know if I think a lot of other schools do it, right? But
I don't know. It's basically a sign language variety show where people go up and perform and sign to music and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like a theatrical performance, except instead of us singing or lip sync. Well, I mean, I might lip sync a little bit, but we're words. Oh God, we're signing.
Yeah.
Right. We're signing the words and the meanings and such, and it's also a play as well. Like there's a performance and there's a theme and stuff like that. It's kind of like a theatrical play almost. But
yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it the next time. But I think we're gonna wrap it up. There's still we've only just opened the can of all the things we want to talk about, which is nuts. But there really is a lot to talk about. So thank you for letting this podcast happen. I mean, we'll set aside time to do this more often. Of course, like we said, we'll do it at least once a week, but we'll try and shoot for 2 maybe. The first episode will be on my channel, Anuki, and then I might upload it to the other channel as well. But then the following episodes will be on that channel. So again, go to the description and check out the channel and stay tuned. It'll be video format, so I'm editing it down, so it might have that delay, especially since I'm busy as well with my own things. But
right.
Of course, in the end goal would be to just have everything just in one pipeline OBS stream where we like control everything through like a stream deck or something, and we record it, we finish it, maybe add some fades or cuts if necessary, but then we just upload it.
Yeah.
You don't have to do all the sort of post stuff, but of course this is the first episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot to happen.
I mean, we are just kind of scraping the surface of all of the things that we're going to end up doing, all the changes we're going to make, all of the things that we're going to talk about.
I might sit there next episode. Who knows? I might not even be on this chair. I might be standing.
Or you might be sitting on the casting couch behind you. You never know. And that's the cool thing, is that we don't really know exactly what the future holds for us, but I'm just excited. And, I'm really grateful for the opportunity to be able to go on this journey with you.
Yeah.
And, I couldn't have asked for it to go any other way. So I'm excited.
I'm excited as well. So I hope you guys are excited as well with both of us. So this is going to be a lot of fun. Make sure, I said it so many times, but you got to do it. You got to go in the description if you want to hear more. This is going to be video format. I will look into doing audio formats. It's a little difficult to get on Spotify and Apple Music and stuff. But I can get it onto at least SoundCloud or something just for because I know the kids use SoundCloud, right? The kids use SoundCloud.
I know that they used to. I don't know if they still do.
I guess. Oh, you're right. That is something that we used to use.
Yeah.
Shoot, is there a new SoundCloud? Oh man.
Oh no.
Oh, old people. Back in my day, we used SoundCloud and we couldn't listen to our music without Wi-Fi.
Back in my day, we had Vine. That was only 7 seconds.
Freaking Vine. But yeah. Also, if you want to support this, this isn't really monetized, of course, but I will have a coffee. I don't know if it's called coffee or Ko-fi, but there's a coffee link for if you want to donate or anything like that. Much as anything is appreciated, anything big or large. Or small or large, big or large. Please only $100. No, I'm just kidding. $100 minimums. But yeah, if you want to support the podcast and you want to hear more of it, we'll of course do more, but anything that we get will help us with improving the set,
Right.
and also, I mean, of course, we're not really money hungry people, but it also just can add a little bit of motivation to, and also a little feedback to know that you guys are genuinely enjoy it. But of course, it's voluntary. It's voluntary. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. It's voluntary. So.
Yeah, and I mean, we've talked about this many times, but we're just here for the fun, for the memories, and for the
exactly
being able to put out just kind of the stuff that we talk about every day.
Yeah, exactly. And if we make a couple dollars from it, then that's cool. But that's not the main. That's not
the goal. That's not our main reason for wanting to do it. So I mean, any type of contribution would be appreciated, but we're not going to sit here and be like, give us money,
buy the merch.
Yeah, buy the merch that we don't even have. But yeah, and even just sticking around, hanging out with us while we talk about a whole bunch of random shit. We both appreciate that a lot, and it's something that we've always wanted to do, and we're finally able to make it so that this is actually happening. So I mean, I don't mean to speak for both of us, but like, it's very muchly appreciated.
Oh, for me too as well. It's very appreciated, and I mean, we wouldn't do this if we didn't want to do it. You know? So the fact that we want to do it, we both have the same drive, and I mean, if we just set all of this up and just discarded it, I mean, why did we set it up in the first place if we didn't want to do it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, lots to come. So thank you everybody for watching. Thank you everybody for listening, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Yeah.
Peace. Peace. Peace.
Peace. Peace.
You don't know what that means yet, but you will say it. Don't worry.